Hey folks, Dusty here. Over the years, I've worked with a lot of people who are looking to build an ICF home. Many of these people had already chosen plans that they wanted to use, or at least had settled on ones that they were interested in. Sometimes this resulted in problems because the plans were not drawn with ICF to begin with. For the most part, this isn't an issue because ICF can be adapted very easily to accommodate many different designs. In other words, it's easy to make ICF work for the plans that you have already chosen. When problems do arise, it's usually one of the following issues. The municipality or agency performing the inspections are requiring the plans to show exactly what you're building. For example, if a set of plans is drawn as a CMU block foundation and you want to use ICF, the inspector may not allow you to make that change unless the plans are drawn with ICF. I've had clients run into this before, and it can really throw a curveball in your building timeline if you're not prepared. If you worked with a designer or an architect to create your plans, it may not only be costly, but time-consuming to get back on their schedule for the revisions. And, quite often, many designers or architects aren't as familiar with ICF, and that makes a lot of them feel less comfortable designing with it, so they may not be able or willing to help. And if you bought your plans online, you may not have direct contact with the original designer, or run into the same roadblocks. In this case, you're either stuck building your dream home without the safety, security, and energy efficiency of ICF, scrapping those plans entirely, or hoping for some sort of miracle. The other common issue is usually due to the actual size of the ICF walls themselves. Basements usually don't pose as much of a problem as main floors or upper floors, but you can still run into issues. For example, if a stairwell or a bathroom is on an outside wall and you change the thickness of that outside wall, the stairway or bathroom either needs to shrink or move to accommodate the thicker walls. This can make a significant impact on your floor plan, especially when working with a smaller home. When it comes to main or upper floor walls, most are drawn with 2x4 or 2x6 traditional framing. So, when you change the thickness of a wall from 4 or 6 inches to 11, 12, or 13 inches or more, that difference has to be absorbed somewhere in the house. The other option is to expand the footprint of your home if there's room to do it in your lot. However, those changes will translate up to your roof line and can affect the design and overall look and height of your roof when the project is complete. And keep in mind, changing your roof design or overall height may require approval by your city or HOA. With larger floor plans, it becomes less of an issue because you may not notice a 6-inch loss in the width or depth of a room. Those same 6 or 8 inches can wreak havoc on a home design with a smaller footprint though. These changes can affect things like beam placement, point load locations, window locations, and kitchen and bath layout and designs. For example, if your plans call for a 10 by 10 bathroom on an outside corner, your 100 square foot bathroom can quickly end up at less than 90 square feet when converted to ICF. So, what are the solutions? And how do you avoid running into problems like this when it comes time to build? Well, a lot will depend on where you are at in the stage of building. Obviously, the earlier you are in the process, the easier it will be to make adjustments. If you already have plans, you can have them reviewed by someone with plenty of ICF experience, usually for a few $100 or less, depending on the size and complexity of the build. This provides an outside perspective and a fresh set of eyes to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb, noting any potential issues with changing to an ICF home. Some of those issues may be minor and can be easily resolved, but some may take some planning and reworking to resolve. After the plans have been reviewed and all the areas of concern have been resolved, then you can have the plans altered as needed to show the ICF and change the layout and design accordingly. This cost will vary based on the level of the detail, the number of adjustments required, and the total amount of rework that is needed. Then, depending on your municipality and plans, you may need to have the updated plans reviewed and stamped by an engineer before approval by the building department. So, is there an alternative to all that? Yes. The best option is to have your plans designed with ICF from the beginning. This will remove the majority of variables right from day one. Of course, any construction project can have surprises pop up. A good designer will include ICF engineering data as well to help make the process as smooth as possible. Again, the cost of the design will vary based on all of the variables: square footage, number of stories, site conditions, and intricacy of the project itself. Your best bet, if you are considering an ICF build, is to check with your local city or county inspector's office and ask what their requirements are for building an ICF home. Regulations and requirements will vary greatly from locality to locality. Next, find someone with the right ICF design and construction experience to help you throughout the process. Sometimes the builder that you work with can handle all of this, and sometimes you may need an outside consultant. For more information on designing or building with ICF, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, folks. As always, take the trip and enjoy the ride.